Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sanam and today I am going to represent about a topic on the basic unit of life, cell. Cells are the fundamental unit of biological system. Let's start. In this video, we are going to look over again the basic concepts of cells we studied earlier. Here, we are going to learn about what is cells, the type of cells, and the cell theory, and the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Now, what is cell? Cell is the simplest unit of living matter. That means cells are the fundamental unit of life in biological system, like the atoms are the smallest unit of elements in chemistry. Before proceeding further, let's get to know about an interesting story about the discovery of cells. The discovery of cell. The discovery of cell is credited to an English microscopist and physicist, Robert Hooke, who was awarded the curator position of the Royal Society of London while he was examining a thin slice of cork under the magnifying lens he made. He observed some little pores-like structures look like honeycomb and named them as cells or compartments because it reminded him of the cells in monastery. Latin word cellus means littles or hollow space or room. Hooke's observation, descriptions and drawings were published in 1965 in his MICROGRAPHIA book. So let's get to know what's in Hooke's MICROGRAPHIA. There were so many questions Hooke was attempting to find the answer, like why the stoppers made up of cork and the cork which is made up of from the part of bark trees that were so well suited to holding the air in the bottle. As he wrote in his MICROGRAPHIA book that I took a good clear piece of cork and with a penknife serpent as neat as the razor, I cut a piece of it off and then, examining it with a microscope, methought I could perceive it to appear a little porous, much like honeycomb. Meanwhile, Antony van Leeuwenhoek, a Dutchman, was spending his spare time grinding lenses and constructing simpler microscope. For 50 years, Leeuwenhoek sent letters to the Royal Society of London describing his microscopic observations. All the observations Robert Hooke recorded in his book MICROGRAPHIA, where he described the physiology of minute bodies, lenses, and many more. He schematically represented each thing he observed. Like here, for the need of describing his discovery of cell, just put that diagram. Hooke made many small pores of the slice of cork from his observation, and he compared those small pores-like structures with honeycomb. Now let's get to know another story. Leeuwenhoek's animal clues. Years later, a Dutchman, Leeuwenhoek, was engaged in making magnifying lenses, and surprisingly he made powerful compound microscope. For the very first time, he examined by placing a drop of pond water under the microscope and observed the presence of teeny life forms, bacteria, under the microscope, and he named those teeny motile life forms as animal clues. He was the first to describe various forms of bacteria which he obtained from water and from scraping from his teeth. So he sent letters to the Royal Society of London for describing his discovery of unseen world of life forms, and the society sent it to the curator Robert Hooke to confirm the observations. Hooke just did so, and Leeuwenhoek soon became famous worldwide. In this slide, it's showing the Dutchman Antony van Leeuwenhoek and his microscope, by which he observed animal clues and schematically represent the motile life forms he observed. Now we are coming to the point, cell theory. In 1830, German botanist Schleiden concluded about various tissues, and in 1839, along with another German zoologist, Swan published a paper on the basis of a cellular basis of animal life and proposed cell theory. The two tenets are all organisms are composed of one or more cells. The cells is the structural unit of life. Later, in 1985, Rudolf Virchow, a German pathologist, had made third tenet of the cell theory. Each cell can arise only by dividing from a pre-existing cell. So, how did the first cell arise? And how life originated on Earth? These are the most frequent questions asked by biologists. The origin of life still remained a near total mystery, but it's presumed that cells evolved from some pre-cellular life form, which in turn evolved from some non-living organic materials of primordial sea. According to the tenet of cell theory, cell can arise only by dividing from a pre-existing cell. All organisms have evolved from a single common ancestral cell that existed in Earth more than 3 billion years ago. And for this, the ancient cell is referred to the last universal common ancestor or LUSA. And we will discuss about the evolution of cells in any other video. Types of cells. Cells are divided into two main classes, where prokaryotic cells such as bacteria and archaea contains a much simpler cell which lacks membrane-bound nucleus but contain a simple genetic material called nucleate and possess some organelle. Eukaryotic cells such as protists, fungi, plants and animals which contain the highly specialized and organized nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Eukaryotic cells are more complex than prokaryotes. Present-day prokaryotes include all the various types of bacteria are divided into two groups, such as archaebacteria and eubacteria, are diverged through evolutions. Archaebacteria used to live in extreme environments as per the evolutionary history. The eubacteria includes the common forms of present-day bacteria. A large group of organisms lives in the environment freely, including soils, waters, and the inside of other organisms. What is cell biology? Cell biology is the branch of biology that deals with the structure, functions, and behaviors of cells and cellular organelles. Now we are coming to the cell structure. Prokaryotic cell structure. Prokaryotic cells are the smallest and simplest cells that contain a genetic material which lacks membrane called as nucleate. They contain single circular DNA. Cell contains cell wall, the outermost boundary of cell membrane, cytoplasm, and ribosomes. Prokaryotes are composed of single or multiple protein filament called flagellum that helps in locomotion and motility. Sometimes they also contain pili that helps in conjugation and transfer of genetic materials. Eukaryotic cell structure. Cells are surrounded by cell wall and cell membrane. Animal cells doesn't contain cell wall. Eukaryotic cells composed of a comparatively large, organized and complex membrane-bound nucleus and cytoplasm, and the nucleus is separated by the nuclear envelope from the cytoplasm and its content. The cytoplasm of eukaryotic cell is composed of a great variety of structures, where so many membrane-bound and non-membrane-bound organelles are present, such as mitochondria, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, lysosome, plastids, centrosomes, vacuole, peroxisome, cytoskeleton. Some eukaryotic contains cilia and flagella. Each organelles perform specialized functions and maintain cellular activities. Here is the structure of eukaryotic cells, and the parts are mentioned here, and some references are there. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Hello everyone.